At the beginning of the film, we observe a couple doing something in the bedroom. Afterwards, Caleb smiles at his mistress and gets out of bed. Fiona asks the man to stay for breakfast, and after refusing, she gets upset that they can't be together all the time. Caleb gets dressed, puts some gum in his mouth, and returns home to his wife. The man deftly lies to Celine that he has just returned from a business trip. The wife is very happy to see Caleb. She literally blossoms from his compliments. Fiona, meanwhile, goes to work at the atelier where she shares her thoughts about her relationship with a friend. The girl is worried that she has acted unkindly towards Caleb's wife. Miguel tries to calm Fiona down. He sees nothing terrible or horrible in her behavior. Meanwhile, Caleb tells his brother about his infidelity. The man doesn't want to leave his wife, but with Fiona he feels very good. Their passion overflows. In the evening, Caleb and his wife, as well as his brother and his wife, go to a restaurant. Fiona unexpectedly appears in the establishment, wearing the same dress as Celine. Both dresses were bought for them by Caleb himself. The man catches up with his mistress in the toilet and asks her not to make a scandal. Fiona promises that she will ruin her lover's life if he doesn't talk to his wife. At home, Caleb is left alone with his spouse. The next day, Celine is due to leave and will be away for 3 days. A joyful Caleb hurries to his mistress, but she doesn't want to talk to him. The man promises Fiona that in 2 months he will solve all his cases and leave his wife. The mistress believes Caleb and lets him into the house, where they are alone. Afterwards, Fiona and the man have a picnic, where they reminisce about their acquaintance. They first encountered each other in a shop, choosing tomato paste. Fiona noticed a ring on the man's hand and interrupted the dialogue. However, Caleb was quite persistent. The man gave Fiona the forgotten carrot, after which they couldn't contain their passion and kissed for the first time. The action returns to the present. Fiona flips through a magazine and sees that she and her mate have made it into the top designers. In honor of this, Caleb gives his mistress a locket with their pictures on it. Fiona decides to invite a man to her friend's party. Caleb agrees, and they have a good time together. Fiona likes that they have glimpsed into the future, where they will no longer have to hide. Soon, Celine returns home from a business trip. The woman notices that Caleb didn't water her flowers. Also, he leaves at the first opportunity to talk to someone on the phone. At night, Celine proposes to her husband to make love because they have long dreamed of a child. However, Caleb refers to fatigue and suggests postponing everything to tomorrow. The next day, Fiona discusses with a friend of her lover. Miguel believes that Caleb can still stay with his wife, afraid of divorce. At the hospital, Celine learns that she cannot have children. Upon returning home, the woman becomes hysterical, and Caleb comforts her. At the same time, Fiona takes a test and realizes she is pregnant. The mistress breaks the happy news to Caleb. The phone is accidentally picked up by Celine, who's still not calmed down. The news about the mistress and her pregnancy finally kills the woman. Celine calms down and talks to her husband. That same night, Caleb arrives at the mistress's house with his belongings. Celine warns her husband that there will be no turning back. Caleb goes to the mistress anyway, even though he says he still loves his wife. 5 months go by. Celine buys a new car and observes her husband. The woman looks at the pregnant Fiona with hatred and steals a letter that she puts in the letterbox. From it, Celine learns that her spouse is going to have a son. Fiona, meanwhile, is chatting to her family, discussing that her sister didn't come to the baby shower. The mother is sure Fabiola will come after the baby is born. The next day, Caleb and his mistress go to the baby shop. Celine follows them there as well, after which she buys a few baby items and a book. Soon, Caleb sees his wife and says he is sorry. Celine chases the man away, thinking he is not worthy of even talking to her after what happened. Fiona opens the windows in the house and sees her ruined photo. Outside, a major mess is also revealed. A furious Caleb calls his wife and asks her to stop her attempts to scare them. Celine shouts that he won't prove anything and then hangs up. In the evening, Caleb gets into his car and discovers his drunken, naked wife in the back seat. The man takes Celine home, puts her to bed, and asks her not to make any more scenes like this. Fiona, meanwhile, is chatting to a friend and says she is ready to deal with the woman herself. Soon there comes a party in honor of Caleb's future son. All the guests are having fun, unaware that Celine has secretly infiltrated them. While Fiona is unwrapping presents for the baby, the woman douses the house with petrol and sets it on fire. Fortunately, the mistress and her guests manage to get out of the house. At night, Caleb is very nervous because he could lose both his beloved and the baby. However, Fiona asks the man not to be nervous because everything has turned out all right. At work, the mistress receives a message from her sister Fabi, who suggests to make up and forget about all offenses. Celine, meanwhile, continues to behave strangely. The woman puts on a false belly and walks down the street like a pregnant woman. This is noticed by Caleb's brother and his spouse. Celine then calls the mysterious person and promises him any money for his favor. Some time passes. Fiona arranges a photo shoot with her lover and soon goes to the maternity hospital. After giving birth, Celine sees a man who has come for money. For more information, the woman stays with him alone and then goes to the maternity hospital dressed as a nurse. Celine sees Dr. Smith. At first, the man is dumbfounded that the woman broke the terms and met with him. However, the doctor then reassures Celine and tells her that the deed will be done. Fiona, meanwhile, admires her baby and then gives him to the nurse. Soon, Smith enters the mistress's room. The doctor draws the curtains and then injects something into Fiona, not without resistance. As a result, the girl dies. The doctor informs Caleb, who becomes hysterical. Time passes. Together with Caleb, Fiona's mother takes care of the child. Elena says that she understands the man and sympathizes with him. Soon, Caleb leaves the house and finds a bouquet with a note. In the car, the man reads the touching sympathy letter Celine left him. Caleb continues to live alone while working and raising his child. Soon, Celine contacts the man again and suggests they meet. The woman says she is not angry with Caleb at all. Celine admires the baby and says she could babysit him sometimes, if necessary. Soon, Caleb actually calls the woman and asks her to stay with little Brody. Celine remains delighted with the baby and often looks after him. Soon, Caleb enters into a relationship with his wife again. Celine offers to move back home together and raise Brody there. 8 months pass. Caleb lives a happy life with his wife and son. However, the man shows Brody a picture of Fiona, so his son knows who his mom is. This doesn't please Celine very much, but she decides to accept it. Soon, in the shop, Caleb encounters a girl who looks just like his lover. She introduces herself as Fabi, Fiona's sister. The girl is very eager to meet Brody, and Caleb can't refuse her. Celine is shocked by Fabi's visit. She allows her to see the boy, but then looks at her husband very disapprovingly. After the visit, Celine makes her husband a scene. Caleb reminds her that although they are raising Brody, he has other relatives. The man decides to placate Celine by saying that they can get married again soon. In the evening, when a woman is putting Brody to bed, Caleb notices that she has removed Fiona's photo from the album. This causes the couple to have a quarrel. Soon, Caleb has a big party. Dr. Smith appears at it. The man hints to Celine that he is ready to help if suddenly needed. The woman also learns that she has finally been promoted. Caleb wants his wife to accept. Celine is sad that she'll have to go to work more often, but her husband is confident that Helena and Fabi will do a great job caring for the baby. Fiona's sister herself, meanwhile, is getting very close to Miguel. The guy even invites Fabi to the studio where they worked with her sister. It turns out that Fiona has been given an award that will be presented at Paris Fashion Week. Fabi agrees to go there and receive the award on behalf of her sister. Afterwards, the girl sees Caleb, saying that she's inviting him and his family to the award presentation in Paris. Fabi, along with the man, decides to grab a bite of pizza in the park. Caleb gets a call from the owner of Fiona's old house and learns that the house caught fire from petrol, not wiring. Fabi is shocked by the news. She can't understand who would dare to do such a thing. Caleb's words only make him gloomy. The man says he will find out who set the fire and almost took Fiona's life during the party. Caleb suspects his wife, but his brother asks him to put aside these strange thoughts. Soon, the man, together with Fabi and Miguel, goes to Paris. At the last moment, Caleb even has to go on the catwalk as a model. After the awards, the man has a drink and dances with Fabi. Caleb kisses the girl and she reciprocates him. After the kiss, they talk for a long time and enjoy each other's company. Soon, Caleb returns home. The man is sitting in front of the television with Celine when the news broadcasts a news story about a doctor who took his patient's life. The man is Dr. Smith. At first, Caleb can't remember where he saw him, but then the man remembers that Dr. Smith was at the party and was talking to his wife. Caleb interrogates his wife and learns the truth. Horrified, the man leaves Celine, saying that she has ruined his happiness. 5 years pass. Caleb lives happily with Brody and his pregnant wife, Fabi. Celine is in Paris at this time with another lover. Caleb has no idea that his ex-wife continues to follow him even now, observing Brody through a camera installed on the house. This is the end of the film. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Give this video a like, write in the comments what you think about this film, and see you in new videos.